Hiya, and welcome back to Eden's Reach, the game that teaches us that big sexy wolf man is the best option whenever you're you're just like doing your own thing, and then all of a sudden there are cops everywhere, except they're not cops, they're actually like gangsters, and you're all just like, oh my god, no, don't shoot me, and then he shows up and he's like, I know, I saw. Anyways, let's just hop right in. Alice flashes several images of a large, extravagant building. I'm immediately able to recognize the kind of architecture and figure out that it's located somewhere in the uptown districts, up in the hills. It's supported by tall, intricately carved pillars by the entrance, with a large man-made tunnel opening just in front of it. There'll be a charity party that's gonna be hosted by Eden Corps here. Apparently, it's their usual practice to bolster the monetary support from the uptown residents. It's going to be held in the Uptown Community Center, where they will be importing a data bank from Eden Island itself to track the guests. Oswald leans forward a bit from the couch, dispersing the weight forward. Yep, we've made that clear. We also know that the data bank has some possible information regarding the next steps we'll need to take Eden Corps down. Right. However, that same databank makes it extra hard to do long-range comms as well as infiltrating the community center. No, don't touch me there. This is my no-no square. It's my special little spot. Fuck. Damn it, I'm distracted now. We just... Stop. Don't touch me there. This is my no-no square. It's my special little spot, and I don't want to share. So no, don't touch me there. This is my no-no square. It keeps track of guests going in and out in real time thanks to all the patrols. Luckily, Benji got us a way in. The possibility was a bit far-fetched at first. A contract of mine could convince the rear guard that we're staff and let us in. Contact! Fuck. Adrian, however, changes that. After proposing a better course of action for the previous DJ, Adrian can fill that role instead. Once we're in, Adrian can be our surveillance as Alex's comms are offline once we're in. I start to shake a little at the realization of how vital I am to sell this whole alibi. The equipment that all three will need will be set just before the mission starts. I planned for most scenarios. The mission's also going to take place on a work day. I'll make sure the bar's safe while you guys are wreaking havoc. Alice nods before turning to her desk and taking out a small device from a drawer. She tosses it to Benji, and the raccoon effortlessly catches it. Fuck. Hiya. Plug that into the databank once you get there. It'll mine all that data and keep it safe until you get back to base. Alice turns to the panels again, switching the images from the schematics of the building to 5 profiles. They all seem to have code names in place instead of actual names. Also, I've got some bad news. Before last mission's comms went dark, the ruckus that we caused got the Omega Squad's attention. Omega Squad? What's that? It's Eden Corps' elite task force. I've got no leads on their actual identities, only some code names. Oh shit. However, one thing's clear. The reports I have say they're all unlike any normal soldier in any military force on the planet, each of them defying at least one of the natural laws of the world. Alice's grip tightens on her keyboard a bit, clicking her tongue as she lays each incomplete profile that she displays on the screen. They're all very dangerous, hiya, and at least one of them might very well be in the charity party. I've also heard that there's some hired muscle there too, and they're all packing heat. I hope that whatever happens at that party doesn't tip them off and cause a gunfight. Oswald, Benji, Adrian, be careful. Benji scoffs while lightly stroking his fur. I exhale with a shaky breath, unable to stifle my uneasiness from the whole mission now. Hired muscle and some enigmatic super soldiers? You've got to be kidding me! It should be fine. It's only some Richie party. The databank's probably in the storage facility of the center. And those pompous idiots aren't going to set foot in that dingy place. Still, if anything goes wrong, We'll handle it. Oswald appears to say to Alice, but his gaze is on me. Is he trying to reassure me? Alright, let's get to it, Midnight Sun. Everyone nods without hesitation. Ellie is the first to stand and return to her lab after the briefing. Alice returns to working on the panels, and Max stretches a bit after leaning on the corner for a while. Best rest early today, still have some training to do. Max turns to the hallway afterwards, leaving me with Oswald and Benji. Benji leaps off the bar stool, facing the two of us. A mongoose. Alright, you're taking over his hand-to-hand combat training tomorrow, right? I raise my eyebrow at Benji, looking at Oswald afterward. Hand-to-hand combat? Mm-hmm. Keeping yourself skilled in both close and long-range combat is the best way to keep yourself alive.
A mongoose.
Luckily, excelling in one can also do that, but that's all a case-by-case basis. Your skills are just one big wild card, you know. So, you're trying to see what I'm good at, is that what you mean? Oswald nods enthusiastically at me, which is admittedly quite endearing. Suddenly, some ringing comes from Benji, the raccoon also surprised by it as well. Huh, it's from Ray. Hold on. Let me answer this. Benji takes the call, leaving Oswald and I alone to talk a bit more. Shit.
It's time to drink water. It's time to
Shit.
drink water.
My headphones went unplugged.
It's time
Fuck.
to drink water.
Fuck.
It's time to drink water.
Fuck. Hang on. Hang on. Headphones, why do you do this to me? Okay. Headphones are back. Headphones are back. Oswald looks at me rather gently, his gaze neither too intrusive nor too aloof. He pats me on the back, fully grasping my attention in a heartbeat. Come on, Adrian, let's talk on the way. His other hand motions to the hallway, and I'm more than happy to oblige. Sure. We begin to walk, neither of us really attempting to break the silence so far. Oswald places his hands onto his pockets, relaxed and seemingly undisturbed, unlike me. I'm thinking about so many things right now, and it's starting to overwhelm me to the point that I can't even describe them, not even to myself. The mission, my life, the possibility of death, the people around me. It becomes a deafening ringing in my mind, each footstep making me fall deeper and deeper into an anxiety-filled collapse. Then he speaks! Hey, Adrian. Yes, Oswald? I never asked how your day was while I was gone. So, how did it go? How was my day? Huh, well, I could pick a few things out from today. Probably going to have to skimp out on the shower, though, for obvious reasons. There was training with Benji, which was a mixed bag in itself. Then again, there was Ellie's exam to consider. Decisions. Do we want to talk about Benji or Ellie? Do we want to talk about Trash Panda or... Ellie? I'm just gonna run a poll. No, not view results, new poll. Trash Panda Anxiety Incarnate. Alright, the poll is running. Your options are Trash Panda and Anxiety Incarnate. Talk about Ellie. We're about to find out who got decided. I love the music. La, 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 la. And Anxiety Incarnate 1. I had Ellie check on my ear today. Yeah, I was trying to ignore the chip. I'm glad that she was able to take care of it. Oswald sighs to himself and then averts his gaze from mine. What's wrong, Oswald? Nothing, Adrian. At least it healed quickly, right? He grins widely before giving off a soft chuckle. All thanks to my bandaging skills, of course. Should I tell him that Ellie was the one that activated the bandage? All he essentially did was wrap my ear in a warm blanket. Then again, acting kind of cute. I'll let it slide. Sure, Oswald. We continue to talk a bit more, this time about his day in the bar. Unlike when I was there, it was mostly uneventful, and most of the DJs didn't seem to interest him either. While we continue to walk, a rather slender figure shoves past between us, revealing itself to be Benji, coyly swishing his tail as he skips ahead of us rather flippantly. Alright, you lovebirds, get a room. Benji chuckles before entering his room. His words linger in the air and cause me to become flushed. Ugh, that raccoon never fails to get under my skin. Lovebirds? Adrian? Lovebirds! I can feel my face getting red. This isn't good. Adrian, you're starting to heat up. Oswald places his paw on my shoulder, and I reflexively brush it away. I'm fine! Let me just calm down! Oh, okay. I take a few moments to let my emotions die down with a few deep breaths. I start feeling better, though I can't seem to get rid of his words ringing in my ears. How embarrassing. Embarrassing? Sorry, Oswald. Benji's probably just trying to get under my skin. Oswald chuckles. Happens to the best of us. Right? Besides, us being lovebirds, a bit of a stretch, don't you agree? A few seconds pass. No response. I wait for a few more to pass. Complete silence. You agree, right? Oswald's only response is to nervously chuckle while rubbing his nape. You swing that way? The wolf's the one to get flustered this time. You'd be surprised. What? All this time, you were... Yes, I do prefer the company of men more. I wasn't expecting this at all! All of a sudden, a swarm of questions fill my brain, and I quickly switch gears to enter this whole rabbit hole I've just discovered. What? Since when? Instead of indulging the question, I absentmindedly blurted out. Oswald giggles while he opens his room door. I realize then that we've both reached our bedrooms, much to my dismay. Now the wolf has an excuse to dodge my questions. Good night, Adrian. Oswald! Yeah! At this point, all I can do is laugh. Just what the heck is this coincidental yet stupidly infuriating cliffhanger? I swear, this is the kind of stuff that Dylan would get joy out of a good book. Now I have to live in it. How frustrating to be kept in the dark. Yet this is quite the big step in solving the mystery that is Oswald. Maybe he has the hots for me? No. That can't be it. Why would he be interested in a guy like me? Come here. Oh, okay. guess I'll just think about it later. He likes men. I enter my room and crash onto the bed, raring to get to the next day. Raring. I've made decent progress learning from some of the people in this group, and I hope I get to learn more. I wasn't prepared for the week's work that was ahead of me, as both Benji and Oswald took turns training me to the best of their ability in all forms of combat. Oswald trained me in close hand-to-hand combat, just like he said. And while he's a nice and gentle teacher, I often find myself learning more from Benji with the strict yet enriching regimen in ranged combat. Over the next 6 days, I became a lot more confident in my aim than with my fists, which probably shows who's better at teaching. Though it definitely didn't feel like the week came and went. The fateful day, the day of the mission, finally came. I wake up once more, still getting used to the earlier hours being a part of Midnight Sun demands of me. I take my newly laundered clothes, neatly folded by Benji, and put them on. That sly raccoon is quite the neat freak, surprisingly. Okay, I'm just gonna say it. I swear to God, and I put this on the please wait screen. I swear, Benji, I swear, I feel like he's the kind of person, like, he's all edgy and emo on the outside, and then, like, you actually take a look at what he likes, and you're like, oh shit, you look at it, and it's My Little Pony. I swear to God, I swear, I feel like, Eden's Reach developers, if you ever see this, could you answer the question, does Benji secretly love My Little Pony? Because I can see it. A asshole with the heart of gold. Like, you just walk into his room holding, like, whatever, and he's just sitting there, like, closely watching a random episode of My Little Pony, and you're just like, oh shit. I think it's like, I think it'll be like the episode, I don't know. I used to love My Little Pony. I used to love it. But no, I feel like, but only up to like season 5, beginning of season 6. That's when I actually fell out of love with it. But no, you just like watching a random episode. I bet his favorite character is Pinkie Pie. I bet you Benji's favorite character, if he loves My Little Pony, is Pinkie Pie. That was me in middle school. Considering he does most of the cleaning in the base, it isn't all that surprising for me anymore to see him sweeping the floors on his off time. Guess you really shouldn't just judge people at first glance. Of course, the raccoon constantly reminding me of those words isn't helping me forget it anytime soon. As I take my time walking towards the training hall, my mind drifts towards Oswald. Of course the wolf is quite sweet, perhaps even a bit territorial. Actually, nope. He's definitely the territorial type. There's no doubt about that. Whenever I think of it, though, a rather simple question goes through my head. Why? I haven't really warranted any of it as far as I'm concerned. It really only leaves me in the dark about Oswald's intentions. Yeah, sure. The guy's about as straight as me, at the very worst, but people don't get like that over simple crush. Thought of being his crush is a bit surprising, too, to be honest. I'm not too sure how to feel about it. Oswald may be nice for those reasons, but I'm not too eager on that possibility. Maybe because I might not genuinely reciprocate those feelings. No, he's not listening to Fall Out Boy. He's over here jamming out to fucking Korn and Marilyn Manson. A little bit of Metallica, maybe some AC/DC. I don't know. I don't really listen to them. Except for the occasional Korn and Marilyn Manson. He's like jamming out to them, and then he goes to his room after saying fuck you to everyone and loads up his favorite episode of My Little Pony. Maybe because I might not genuinely reciprocate those feelings. I finally arrive at the training hall. Despite my self-imposed delays, I peek inside to see Oswald and Benji. Oswald is in the middle of training his footwork on the ring while Benji was at the shooting range, as usual. I suppose, since this is the last day, I should train with them. Where to go first? Do we want to train with Trash Panda or Big Boofy Bar Wolf Titty? Big Boofy Bar Wolf Titty Booba it is. Actually, should I save here? Is this where routes diverge? Is this where routes diverge? Because if it is, I will be sad. Oh, okay. Train with Oswald. I certainly need to brush up on my hand-to-hand combat. I'd definitely prefer it if I didn't have to fight anybody, but at this rate, coming to blows with someone else sounds more like an inevitability than a possibility. When it comes to hand-to-hand combat, Oswald's proven to be the most knowledgeable of all the guys in the base, as far as I've seen. Sure, Benji's got his instincts and his agility, Max has got that hot-blooded nature of his, but Oswald? It always seems like every punch and every strike, every action in battle, there's meaning and purpose to all of them. No matter what way you ask him about why he dodged a certain way and why he pulled his punch then, he always has an answer, even though he can't always put it into words. I climb into the ring, puddles of sweat from Oswald's practice are littered across its floor, making it glistening gleam against the ceiling light. I liked all those games. Far Beyond the World, Remember the Flowers, and Ad Astra. Okay, so quick fact about Star. I had her play Ad Astra. I had Star play Ad Astra last year. It's been like over a year since I had her play it. I listened to her scream. You remember that one scene, if you know, you know? It was a mixture of both. I had her play it, but I also kind of forced her to. I feel like, you know that one scene? Between, Neferu and Amicus? You know the one where she's like... ah! Yeah, that one. Yeah, that scene. Yeah, she was shouting at the top of her lungs, "Fuck you." She was pissed. He gazes at me as I let a large puff of air standing back up. Hiya. The short climb surprisingly taking the wind out of me. Guess it's still too steep for me to just lunge over easily. Well, I suppose I can't expect much from a week of training, but still. Hiya. Hey, Adrian. Why is he grumpy? Why are you grumpy? His tone is unexpectedly sullen, but I suppose that should be a given. With the mission and all that, I decide to ignore it, raising my fists up. Mind a sparring session? Oh no, she was pissed about that too. I need to refresh on that stance you've been teaching me. Bussy tight, bussy clean, bussy fresh. Bussy pretty, bussy fat, full of flesh. He doesn't respond, chuckling a bit as he raises his fists in return. I nod as I take the first step forward, inching closer towards the wolf's large form. My whole body still feels heavy from his presence in the ring, his fierce eyes intimidating me to no end. Hiya. Aside from the times I had to spar with him, I was a lot more comfortable when he just taught me to throw good punches. Still can't apply it all too well, though. Regardless of my feelings, I muster up the strength to take a wide swing at him, which he easily dodges. He grabs my extended arm, throwing me to the hollow floor of the ring. I take a second to recover, the speed of it all happening going way too fast for me. When I open my eyes... Okay. When I opened my eyes, Oswald was leaning downward, looking at me with a concerned look. You okay? Yeah! Just a bit winded by the speed is all! Oswald nods as he sighs in relief. He extends his hand to me, which I take immediately. He lifts me up to a sitting position, sitting cross-legged afterward to level with me. So, what did you do wrong? I groan as I scratch my head, the impact I had on the ring still slightly tingling across my back. Well, I thought that Alright, stop. That's where the problem lies. He pokes my forehead with his finger, his claw trailing on it softly. You're still dependent on that head of yours. Thinking in the middle of a fight can only get you so far. I pout in frustration. The wolf continues on. You have to learn to cut your thinking mid-fight. You see an attack, you react accordingly. You make it sound so easy! Oswald grabs me by the torso, lifting me as he stands up. Well, that's because it develops naturally the more experience you have. You don't have to actually hone it, but it speeds up the process if you do. I shake my head in confusion. If it's just a natural progression thing, why do we still spar and train? Wouldn't it be better if I beat up some criminals out in some alleys or something? Oswald chuckles at my remark, but quickly recomposes himself. Come on, Adrian, just because you're mentally capable of keeping up with someone doesn't mean your body will follow suit. If it does, it'll break itself in the process. He's going to pull an Izuku Midoriya! Act on instinct? Alright. Okay. You're telling me to act on instinct? Alright, I get punched once, I'm going to fall to the floor, curl into the fetal position, and start screaming. Maybe some crying for good measure, just... Oswald flexes his bicep, smirking to himself as he does so. At this point, I'm quite used to seeing the wolf's toned form, at least enough to stop being a blushing mess around him. We train and spar to mitigate that. The more our body's capable of doing the things it needs to survive, the more possibilities our mind can default to almost any situation. Oswald raises his fists once more, his expression returning to a serious one. No, I'm not going to attack nor counter any of your moves. I turn into Siren Head. Just... Try to develop your strength. Throw stronger punches. That'll be the focus for as long as we can till the mission. Right! We continue like this for the next few minutes or so, stopping after a sequence of strikes at his open palms for him to give his feedback. He focuses on being more agile, making me work harder to keep up with his speed. After a while, we finally stop, my body not feeling as shit as after the first few combat sessions with Oswald. Oh, I swear to God, like, I feel like if I were here, I would just be like, Oswald! Yeah, what's wrong? What's wrong? And I'll just be over here just a sobbing mess, just like... They punched me! They hit me! I would not be able to survive Midnight Sun. I would not be able to survive it. I would not be able to fight. I cannot fight. Like, if we were in the natural world, like the natural order of world stuff, I swear, I would be the first one to die. I would be the first to die. I'm, I'm not athletic. I'm not very strong. Like, like someone would just see me walking on by, and they would be like, "Oh!" And then they would kill me and eat me. And I'd just be all like, dead. Like, I feel like I can lift some heavy shit. I can lift some stuff, but in terms of combat, I am not strong at all. I suppose there's that as a mark of improvement to be proud of. Oswald creates a distance between us as I take a moment to catch my breath. As I regain myself, I look up to Oswald, who's dripping in sweat. He rotates his arms as he stretches upwards, a low-pitched groan escaping his muzzle. Probably hit a good spot in that stretch. Sweat falls down from his chest to his abdomen until he finally stops. Releasing his sighs, he looks at me once more. Well, that was a nice warm-up, I'd say. Enough for the mission, maybe. I laugh nervously at his remark. I'd like to think I won't overexert myself. That is a nice thought, yeah. Oswald sighs to himself, his smile quickly dissipating back into that aloof expression. Is something wrong, Oz? Oswald quickly realizes my concern, his ears perking up as his eyes dart towards me. I'm fine, Adrian. I'm just thinking about the stuff I need for the mission. Oswald walks past me, patting me on the shoulder. You better get ready, too. I nod to him, the wolf taking it as a signal to drop from the ring and leave. As I look at him as his figure disappears into the corner, something tugs onto the edges of the ring. Well, well, you really are that wolf's happy pill. Benji leans on one of the ring's support beams, his tail swishing playfully. Well, I suppose a conversation could be nice. After all, I do need to get ready for the mission. Why don't we talk on the way? No, there's probably not going to be a movie after this stream. Because I gotta be awake early. I gotta get up early. Hang on, I'm going to put something in my phone. I'm putting something in my phone right now. I'm putting something in my phone. Reminders. Actually, no, calendar. Putting it in my calendar. Hang on, let me turn on webcam so that way you can see exactly what I'm doing. Okay, so. Oh, it's simple. Doctor's appointment. Alright. Monday on the 12th, going to add an event. It's an all-day thing. Title: The Movie. Do a movie night after Strem. Alright. I put it in my calendar. It's going to happen. Maybe. Probably. Why don't we talk on the way? Alright. No, it's eye doctor appointment. I haven't had one in a couple years. It's just to, like, check my eyeballs. Alright. Not Vita Carnis, because I actually started... I actually started crying from fear. Like, I genuinely started crying. No. We walk off from the training area towards the hallway, silence enveloping the atmosphere around us. The faint hum of the pipes echoes across the vents on the ceiling, tempting me to take the first step. I've always let Benji start conversations. For the short time I knew the raccoon, It's always felt a lot more natural that way. I hesitate to speak, yet I eventually find the right words to break the silence. So, about Oswald. Benji glances at me nonchalantly, a hint of curiosity on his face. Did you notice anything off about him? Off? Yeah, like something's on his mind? Benji chuckles playfully. Quite a phenomenon for the airhead, no? Yeah, I suppose so, but that isn't the weirdest part. Yeah, don't worry about it. Benji doesn't respond, and I decide to continue with my thoughts. It's not like him to stay quiet about his emotions, right? Quite observant, though it is a bit off the mark. Sorry, I've been giving him Oswald voice. Benji pauses for a moment. The wolf's remarkably good at keeping his emotions in check when it matters. Really? I wouldn't be able to tell. Raccoon places his hand on my shoulder, facing me as we stop in our tracks. It's understandable. Devoid of the full picture, you made a rather convincing template, given the information before you. Benji faces back towards the door behind him, and I immediately recognize it as his room. However, for your safety, I suppose context shall be your best shield, so you know where you and I stand. The doors behind him open as he steps back, standing on the doorframe. Signals me to come with him, much to my confusion. You told me your room was off limits. I said that it's off limits unless I told you otherwise. So... He signals me again, and the idea finally settles on me. Oh, come on now, pup. Nervous to see the nefarious machinations that come at my abode? I roll my eyes as I humor him. Well, this is what you trained me for, right? No, I don't. I don't wear contacts or wear glasses. I don't. I just gotta, like, check my eyeballs. Okay, what I'm trying to figure out is where are his little My Little Pony things? His little My Little Pony stuff. Nah. Last time I remember getting my eyes checked, I got 2010 vision. I got good vision. But that was like almost 5 years ago. That was almost 5 years ago. He giggles as we enter his room. The walls are rather dark, purposefully painted in a dark shade of green, neon lights trailing the walls. The color scheme of the room and the glow from the lighting reminded me of his jacket. Benji has a bed bigger than the one I have in my room, and it's quite neat and orderly. The same thing can be said for the things on his end table and the desk opposite the bed. This just confirms that Benji is definitely a neat freak. Yeah, probably. Surprising for a raccoon. I'll pack some things for the mission. I'll holler if I need you to grab something. Why don't you look around? As I walk towards the center of the room, it feels more spacious than my own room, despite all the extra furniture it has. Oh, and try not to mess with the order of things. I don't want to have to clean this place up when I get back. Hang on. I gotta do something real quick. Just something on my phone real quick that I gotta do. Oh, and try to... Oh, yeah. Will do, sir. I chuckle as I survey the area, with Benji sitting on the bed and taking some things from his desk. I notice a few things of note in his room outside of what I've already seen. There's a row of small vials neatly arranged next to a diffuser and a framed picture on the end table next to it. I approach the dresser first, taking a few of the vials and reading the inscriptions on them. Citrus and lemon, earth and morning, rainy day. All have a sort of nature theme to them. So, this is the culprit to your unique scent, Benji leans back at me with slight surprise, followed by a chuckle. Well, I like to remind myself what it's like to breathe rural air. Rural, huh? That takes me back. You're provincial too? Yep, I'm from further south. It was quiet and there was a lot of water surrounding our town. Coupled with the cold breeze, it must have been a nice swim, I assume. Heh, yeah, it was. Especially during the summer. Well, I don't get the appeal. Being from the north makes you look at the cold a bit differently. Huh, good to know. I put the vials back in their exact positions. As I'm sure Benji's a stickler for the details, I stand a few feet back before investigating the end table. I approach it, taking the picture and observing the frames front and back. It's rare to see physical photos, even more so actual wooden frames. I take a look at the photo itself. It's a family picture. Part of it is folded almost purposefully. Hey, Benji. Yeah. I hesitate to bring it up, yet my curiosity makes me reaffirm my decision. You don't have to answer if you don't want to, but I show him the picture as he looks behind him. Is this your family? Benji's expression deflates into a rather bitter one, causing me to recoil and place the frame back on the end table. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to remind you of anything. No, it's fine, Hotshot. To answer your question, it is my family. He turns back to continue arranging his stuff. I have 6 siblings. I'm the oldest, and that makes us 7. Are they in Bayline City? He shakes his head. They're back in the province, aren't they? No response. Oh, fuck! I just made a mistake, didn't I? I hope he isn't mad at me. I take a seat on the bed, making sure to keep myself behaved for the rest of the time I'm here. I didn't leave because I was selfish. He takes me by surprise, and I quickly glance back at him. That's what you were thinking, right? The oldest brother leaves his family to gain riches on his own. Not at all! The thought never even crossed my mind. Maybe. Maybe you don't realize it. A sigh escapes under his breath, surely to hide it from me. I have my reasons. As much as this past week's been a delight, I don't believe we're there yet. He turns to face me once more. Just trust me, alright? Okay. The doors suddenly slide wide open with Alice on the other side, a box covering up her chest. Hey, Benji, here's the rest of the stuff that... She cuts herself off when she sees me. Oh, hey, Adrian. Perfect timing. I wave at her, but Benji stands, approaching the tiger. Everything's here, yes? With some extra leftovers, as per your request. Benji chuckles. Perfect. Thank you, darling. He winks, Alice rolling her eyes in response. Her eyes dart to me instead. Your stuff's at the lounge in a box, too, all prepared for the mission at hand. I nod at her, and she promptly leaves, pouting at Benji before doing so, causing the raccoon to chuckle. Well then, Hotshot, go ahead to the lounge. We'll need to get ready for a party after all. Oh, alright then! I take the hint and leave first for the lounge. I'm sure Benji will catch up after a bit. He's always been quick with his business. I take a brisk pace to reach the lounge, crashing onto the couch as I groan to myself. Ugh, I messed up, didn't I? I shake my head in embarrassment and shame. Damn it, I'm a lot more tactful than whatever that was. Bringing up his parents when they were hidden in the photo. Stupid Adrian, stupid! I suppose I did need to sate my curiosity, but... As I groan, I suddenly feel something pressing on my nose. A shadow looms over me with it, making me blink twice to see what was booping me. Nervous? I slowly stand as the shadow turns out to be Alice. A bit imprudent to sleep before you head out on a mission, no? I shift into a sitting position on the sofa, leaning back with a sigh escaping my lips. I know. But I kinda need to calm down. Alice stifles a chuckle. Did Benji give you the old boot after letting you in his room? I nod to her, the tigress planting herself onto the living chair opposite me. She places a bag onto the coffee table, signaling me to take a look inside. Your new gear. You can thank me and Ellie for all the upgrades we found useful for your skill set. As I open the bag, Alice looks expectantly at me with each object I take out. Inside the bag is a gas mask, an improved version of my jacket, and a communicator device. Hmm? Hmm? Wow! This is... Alice's smile minimizes a bit, her eyebrow rising in tandem. Your hesitation doesn't bode well. You don't like it? No! I think it's amazing! Guess I'm just a bit disappointed in myself. I bet you were able to get more creative with the others' gadgets. Don't get your tail in a twist. It's your first mission, after all, so you can consider this your starter set. Besides, I've already had your bracelet updated to interface within the party's sound system. That'll be all you need if things go smoothly. If things go smoothly, huh? My mind still feels uneasy about the entire mission. Dylan always said I was the type to worry, but in this case, I feel like it's warranted. After all, a life and death situation could certainly be cause to think about the outcomes, right? As my thoughts drift to the near infinite possibilities that the mission might end, I quickly notice a shiny piece of metal twirling in between Alice's fingers. Slight gleams reflecting off its surface. Hey, Alice. Yeah? What's that thing you're spinning around? Looks like something fragile. Alice does a double take on what I see as a metal chip. Had she not considered that she could break it if it was a chip? It's not fragile, I think. Maybe it's because I'm used to handling stuff like this. She lays it flat on her palm, showing it to me slowly. Besides, this isn't going to be something you need for the mission. It's a backup copy of a gadget for Oswald and Benji. A cloaking device that allows them to change their clothes' appearance through the use of hard light. I don't know, I'll have to think about that. A cloaking device? How does it work? Well, that's what I'm here for. Alice gazes towards the entrance of the rooms, causing me to look back as well, only to see Benji, the chip attached to his choker. With a simple press of a button, Benji's outfit quickly changes from his usual jacket to a very dapper and convincing tuxedo, completely concealing the bag he had strapped on his shoulder. Whoa! Infiltrating enemy lines means that they're going to have to be non-threatening. That often means we have to come up with roundabout ways to smuggle any weapons and gadgets in. That would often implicate our insider man. However, with this technology, we can still be Prince Charmings, with deadly firearms strapped on our backs, and no one would be the wiser. Of course, rifles are not my style, but this is mostly for my other nifty trinkets I have to hide before we get to the back rooms.
Dabber dapper.
As we talk, we hear footsteps echoing from the hallway. And, speaking of a supposedly harmless Prince Charming type, Oswald comes into the lounge, already in a pseudo-tuxedo similar to Benji's, though his has a bit more of a personal touch. Sorry for the wait. It took me a bit to get this thing to work. Oswald places his hand close to his sleeves, revealing the actual gauntlets hidden beneath the hard light illusion. Oz, remember what I said? The illusion can easily break under sudden movement, so you have to be delicate with it. Sorry, Alice. There's that distant tone again. Am I just imagining it, or... You two certainly look fit for a fancy party. Kinda wish I had an excuse to wear tux, too. It may look comfortable, but believe me, Hotshot, we've got our gear under all this. Indeed. Of course, this is just to get past the initial crowd, but... Oswald pauses for a moment, causing the raccoon next to him to some unease. We'll be prepared to fight if it comes to that. If we do this right, we won't have to. I'd prefer that option at the moment. The wolf chuckles as he gently pats Benji on the back. That's so. I'll keep the safety on then. Oswald walks towards the exit of the base, looking back at me and Benji. Well, are you guys ready? Ready as I'll ever be, I guess. Benji moves past Oswald, disappearing into a corner. Let me get the car ready. Of course. Tell Corvus I said hi. We're going to leave off here tonight. Just gotta... So yeah, Also, I know I did this last week, but I'm doing it again. But this time it's only for, hang on, 2 nights. For the next 2 nights, I will not be streaming. That is why I scheduled the, movie night. That is why I scheduled the movie night for Monday. Because I will be nowhere near my laptop for the next 2 days. I will be nowhere near it. Yep. Tomorrow and Saturday there will be no stream. I should be back on Sunday. Anyways, stay safe, have a good night. And I will see you all tomorrow. Not tomorrow, Sunday. Fuck.